here. We have a lot of folks with us on Zoom as well. We have a lot of our community gathering virtually as well as here with us in person. And we had a lot of discussions about our service tonight. What was last week? Last week we were gathering here at 6:13 Shabbat. We were having Simchat Torah. We had all sorts of little kids here. They were dancing, there was singing. There were lots of older folks. There was lots of dancing. There was lots of singing. And we had this amazing Shabbat together. And then we got up the next morning and we turned to the news, and the news was awful. And so we've had lots of moments, which we'll talk about in a moment, through this week as we have watched all of that awful, I don't even know what to call it in Israel. An brutal attack, all of the violence, all of the senseless hatred. And so we've been talking quite a bit about what we want, how to do services tonight. And Cantor Kelly is bringing us in with Nigun, with song, with lots of ruach and koach, with lots of rather incredible joy. But before we really start Shabbat, I do want to acknowledge this past week, what we have experienced, what it has been like. So yesterday, I was doing a presentation at an elementary school. We have an incredible project here at Temple Beth Shalom, the Butterfly Project, where we're going into every elementary school in Indian River County in 5th grade, and we are telling them the story of the Holocaust in an age-appropriate way, and they are making a butterfly as part of this incredible international butterfly project, 1.5 million butterflies for the 1.5 million Jewish children murdered during the Holocaust. This is what we are able to do here in Indian River County. And so there I am talking to these young people, talking to these 5th graders, so they are feeling the weight of the destruction of the Holocaust. They are telling them that story so that they can honor those who were murdered. They can talk and learn about scapegoating and about being a bystander and being a bystander to bullying and aggression so that they can be upstanders. They can stand up to that stuff, and they can fill our world with something it desperately needs, lots of empathy and kindness and compassion. And so there I am. I've been teaching this all week, and actually Steve and Linda Friedman have been wonderful, wonderful partners in joining in the Butterfly Project. In fact, they went out to do one of the presentations, and if somebody here would like to learn how to do presentations for the Butterfly Project, please just ask, please let me know. We're happy to have more people be able to do that with us. So there I was yesterday doing the Butterfly Project and talking about the Holocaust, and then I saw one of the many headlines that we have all responded to. It was a simple one, and it says so much about this past week. It said, "My grandmother was killed in a pogrom, and then my daughter was too." Since the Holocaust, there has not been that type of loss of Jewish life in an attack like that in that way. And there's no other way to describe it as a pogrom. So there I am teaching about what happened so many years ago, and we all say never again. We want to teach all of this stuff, and now we're confronting it in our own day and age. We were here last week celebrating new students, and we've started the Torah cycle over, and then. And so here I've been standing before you, and all week we had a vigil here on Monday night. The mayor was here, members of the faith community was here. We've gotten phone calls and messages of support, and even Father Goldberg from across the street is here with us tonight to give us his ruach and koach. On Sunday, you'll have a chance, if you would like to make a bracelet that we're using as an act of caring, just to do something and to visit with people and then raise money for Magen David Adom. We've tried to do so much. I've given interviews and I've written things. I have been searching for the right words and the right actions to feel the weight of the loss, to offer solace to those who have loved ones still in harm's way, to acknowledge the fear, the incredible fear generated by this attack, to comprehend the senseless hatred towards Jews and Israel, and I can't describe it any way other than saying that keeps gushing out. Everywhere we turn, I keep seeing more and more anti-Semitism. And to feel and appreciate, just as I talk about anti-Semitism and hatred in our world, also then to the same breath turn around and feel and appreciate all of the acts of solidarity and caring from so many communities and from so many people of different background. I've had strangers walk in off the street and give me a hug. I've had friends and colleagues reaching out. I've been reaching out. There is so much of that. Even as there is the hatred in the world, there is so much caring and concern and love and support. And then whenever I think, I've got it, I know what I want to say, what I want to do, I see someone else and I hear something else and I feel something else. And I will tell you, even as I've gone through this week, my sense of stability of how I'm going to move forward, even if I'm trudging, even if I have to go forward just simply in pain, even that gets knocked off kilter. So a week ago, to our congregation, to our community, I did, humans plan and God laughs. Might be a good reason. Okay. So a week ago, I sent out a message to our congregation and to the community, and I said, so often, that hope of Israel is a light unto the nations, a place where creativity and spirituality can make a positive impact on our world, has been pressured, if not broken. And today, this week and beyond, we feel that shattering of hope, the breaking of our hearts. And what do we do when we learn that someone dies in Judaism? We do an act of kriyah, an act of tearing. And I had a beautiful piece of scrap cloth to tear for you. And that's just kind of the nature of what's been going on all week. Every time I think I've got it together and I know what to do and how. Did I mention that? So I have a piece of cloth, and who knows where that cloth is, because I wanted to tear it for me to feel it, but for you also to hear it, to feel those pieces of fabric tearing, to hear that tearing, to feel that vibration of those fibers ripping, because isn't that an expression of heartbreak, of loss, of the fabric of too many lives being torn? This week has been so full of awful news and images. One of my colleagues described it beautifully. He said that it is a week of Shiva, like our people have not seen in a long time. What he said was this: tonight I come to the harsh realization that we're all sitting Shiva as the funerals conclude. As the Kaddish is read 100, 200, 300, 900, 1,000 times. And I sit Shiva for each and every beloved. As I cry and we grieve and we hug and we tell stories, it seems a little more sad to you. If I seem a little more sad to you, that's why. For I am sitting Shiva for all those who are now gone. May their memory be for a blessing now and always. As I read that about Shiva, about that rabbi saying, realize everybody is in mourning, everybody is sad, everybody is feeling it. As I said to someone earlier, when you visit somebody who's in pain, you take 1/60th of the pain with you. That's been the whole Jewish people all this week. It's a lot of pain, it's a lot of sadness we're all wrestling with and handling. And so here tonight, and a number of folks sent it out to me and let me know that there has been a call to do an act of solidarity, of lighting a candle this evening with communities all over the world. It's an act of memory. It's an act of solidarity. It's energy that we give into the world to push back the layers and the waves of darkness. May the memory of our loved ones empower our actions and our thoughts. Even as we have tears in our eyes and broken hearts, may our humanity reach out to touch us and give us strength. May the light that we kindle on this night before we start Shabbat, and this be that reminder of the light we talk about. Tonight we are in Parshat Bereshit, the very beginning of Genesis, and how did creation start? With a spark of light. May this light that I light burn brightly within our hearts, our souls, and our minds. And so I light this light of solidarity, this light of memory. And as Aaron taught, and we do that light, but if you know the story of Aaron the priest, the brother of Moses, his two sons Nadav and Abihu, they die suddenly in the tent of meeting in the book of Leviticus, and Moses comes out and tells Aaron, and the Torah just says, Vayadom Aharon, Aaron was silent. So Aaron taught silence in the face of loss and pain. Elijah went up on the mountain onto Mount Sinai, and there he showed us the power of that silence to connect with something greater than ourselves. And so this response we offer takes some time for silence, even before we start Shabbat. So we each have an opportunity to be with our own thoughts and feelings of loss and pain and grief and isolation and overwhelm and disappointment and anger and fear and every combination therein. Sometimes the response needs to be silence. As much as we have for time and set aside energy for words and action. And so before we start our Shabbat, we take a moment of that silence as we each make our journey through this valley of the shadow of death in our own way. I ask you to look at that light, to close your eyes, to have this moment of that powerful silence. As we take time for silence, and so we take time to reflect on the pain and all of the emotions of this past week, we do prepare to enter Shabbat. And if you think about a Kriya ribbon, it's kind of incredible because a Kriya ribbon is not torn completely, because we always have those opportunities for tikkun, to weave that sadness into our life, to face the curse and the death with blessings and joy. What do you say when you're departing the cemetery at the end of a funeral? What do we say? And I ask you to repeat these words after me, because we are saying it to each other as we take this journey. We say, and I ask you to repeat after me, may God console you, with all who mourn, in Zion and Jerusalem. Now go forth in peace to life. About those words that we do go forth, even as we say goodbye to someone we love, even in those moments of loss, we go forth in peace to life. And so here on this Shabbat, as we take time for silence, as we take time to think and feel the weight of our loss, as we light a light of memory and a light of solidarity, we close these 6 days of this week. We're not going to end our mourning or close off our pain and dread and sadness, but now we do have to make that effort to shift, to allow the warmth of Shabbat, of family and friends to shine through, not to take away our tears, but to give and some sweetness and love even through them. And so we do take some time this evening, but now we do shift and turn for this time of Shabbat. And so we join with cantors, we sing these words of Olam Chesed Yibaneh, and we think about how we can build, even through our tears, still build a world of love and chesed and kindness. Olam Chesed Yibaneh, we do